I don't know if I'll ever find the words that truly capture why I'm standing at the starting line again. Maybe I don't need to. Maybe words are just shadows, weak reflections of what the body and the mind already know. But I'll try, because this is my record, my message to myself, my first marker in the dirt of a road that'll take 4 years to walk, crawl, suffer, and climb. This isn't for applause, this isn't for validation, this isn't some shallow motivational pitch that can be packaged into 3 bullet points and forgotten in a week. This is a challenge I am making public. Not because I need witnesses, but because sometimes you set the fire higher when you let the world see you standing in it. I'm doing this because I have no other choice. Because the alternative, rotting in a slow decline, watching my health slip through my fingers, letting excuses calcify around me, that's death long before the grave. And I'm not ready to die like that. There's a question that haunts me. Why now? Why not 5 years ago? Why not never? The truth is, I've lived too long on the edge between who I was and who I could have been. I've survived things that should have ended me. I've stumbled, I've broken, and I've been forced to face my own fragility. I've spent enough nights wondering if my body was betraying me, if my health was already written in some script I didn't have a say in. But then, I look at my son. 3.5 years old, just learning how to shape his little world with his words. And he says to me in his small voice, "But you can try." That cracks something open in me, because he doesn't see me as a broken man. He doesn't see medical reports or setbacks or diagnoses. He doesn't care about the history of pain or the times I've had to crawl out of holes I never wanted to fall into. He sees possibility. He sees effort. And if I cannot carry that forward, if I cannot be the man who shows him what trying really looks like, then what the hell am I doing here? So why now? Because if not now, then never. And I refuse to leave him with a legacy of never. The next 4 years isn't about competing against anyone else. It's not about proving I'm stronger than some stranger in a gym or faster than some runner on a trail. It's about building my own pinnacle, a peak that only I can climb, because it's shaped by my scars, my setbacks, my endurance, my strength. People like to talk about balance. Balance between strength and endurance. Balance between life and training. Balance between ambition and reality. But balance never made my blood move. Balance is a negotiation, and I didn't come here to negotiate. I came here to carve something unforgiving, something absolute. Not hybrid, not diluted, pure strength and pure ultra endurance. Pulled to their breaking points until they forge something else entirely. This isn't about being superhuman. It's about dragging the human part of me, fragile, flawed, sick, stubborn, into the fire and seeing if it comes out whole. The pinnacle I want isn't on a map. It isn't written in a record book. It's internal. It's the summit of what I know I'm capable of, and I won't stop until I stand there. I know what this will cost. Every step of this first run on this voyage from Echo Lake to Aloha Lake to Mosquito Pass reminded me. The thin air slicing my lungs, the legs that felt heavy too soon, the doubts creeping in at mile 1 instead of mile 20. It'd be easier to pretend I can just grind this out. Easier to fall back on the old slogans of no pain, no gain, stay hard, never quit. But I know the truth after all these years, after my 30-some years. There'll be nights when I'll want to quit. Days when my body refuses to answer the call. Moments when the voice in my head whispers that it's too much, too far, too late. And in those moments I'll have to choose, not once, not twice, but every damn day for 4 years. The choice isn't about greatness, the choice isn't about glory, the choice is survival. The choice is health. The choice is becoming the man my son already believes I am. Let's be clear. This is not a vanity project. This isn't about abs or personal bests or chasing a perfect body. This is about clawing back control of something that has been slipping from me for too long. I've seen what it looks like when health crumbles. I've felt the tingling in my limbs, the lightheaded collapse that comes without warning, the betrayal of a body that refuses to cooperate. That is the battlefield I'm standing on, and I cannot afford to stand still. Movement is survival. Endurance is medicine. Strength is defense. Every mile, every rep, every hour in the grind isn't about numbers. It's about keeping myself alive in a way that matters. I'm not training for aesthetics. I'm training to breathe deeper, to move freer, to fight longer, to live. But even survival isn't enough, because survival is selfish if it stops there. When I look at my son, I see someone who hasn't yet learned the word impossible. He hasn't yet been told to shrink his dreams down to something reasonable. He hasn't yet been broken by the weight of reality, and I don't want him to learn those lessons from me. I want him to see a father who took his limitations and set them on fire. A father who refused to accept the script he was handed. A father who said, "But you can try," and then proved it day after day, year after year, until there was no doubt left. Legacy isn't about money. It isn't about fame. It isn't about leaving behind some story that sounds good at a funeral. Legacy is proof. Proof that when everything pushed against you, you still move forward. Proof that trying is more powerful than quitting. That's what I want him to carry. Not that I was strong, not that I was fast, but I never stopped trying. I don't share this because I want praise. I don't share this because I need accountability buddies or online cheerleaders. I share this because when you put your words into the world, you burn the bridge back. This video, these words, they are a contract with myself. They are my line in the sand. They are the evidence that when I said I would do this, I meant it. And if I fail, the world will see it. If I quit, the world will know. That's the pressure I need. That's the fire I want. Because when the weight gets heavy, when the miles get long, when the sickness creeps in, I'll remember that I've already staked my name to this. I've already declared it, and there's no turning back. 4 years. That's what I've given myself. Not because I think it'll be easy, but because I know it won't. The road will take me past exhaustion, past comfort, past every excuse I've ever leaned on. It will break me, and then break me again, and then test whether I can still rise. But that's the only road worth walking. Every run will be a reminder, every lift will be a test, every stumble will be another chance to choose whether I'm done or whether I keep moving. There's no finish line here, no medal waiting at the end, just the pinnacle, my pinnacle. And I know, and I will know when I've reached it. So this is where it begins. Not in a stadium, not in a competition, not in front of a roaring crowd. It begins here, on a rocky trail from Echo Lake to Aloha Lake, with the quiet, with the doubts, with the voice of a 3-year-old boy saying, "But you can try." And that's the truth. That's the fuel. That's the only reason I need. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how much it hurts. I don't care how many times I have to drag myself off the ground. Because he's right. I can try, and that's enough.